Hello, humans of the internet. Welcome to this level 15 interview with Mike, who plays Artor Galvins in the Horde. Artor has recently hit level 15, which is very exciting for everyone, I think, involved.
Mm.
um, so I figured it was a good time to have a bit of a chat with you about your experience and his experience. Um, it's quite a thing. Before I do
Mm.
these interviews, I do like bullet points of the major story points for the character.
Oh yeah,
Arto's had a lot of those.
he's had a whirlwind since he joined. He joined to hit things, and
Yep.
then life happened.
Yeah. The Horde has many unexpected consequences for everyone, including me. Um, so I guess let's start with Mike before we get into
Oh
Artor.
yeah.
Um, you tell me a bit about how you ended up in this thing that we're doing and what it's been like for you and what your
Oh
relationship
goodness.
with Dungeons and Dragons is. Is that
So
enough to get you talking?
oh definitely D&D. I started D&D 15 years ago, I think 16 years ago. It was the stereotypical. I started in a buddy's basement. My first character ever made was a halfling rogue that did the trope of stealing from the party. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
great back in 3.5. Um, oh, then from there was a really long gap of playing. I didn't get to play, and then I got introduced to 5e, and I played some 5e, and um, from there I struggled to find the consistent table and consistent group, and oh god, the scheduling nightmare.
Yep.
And then I found the Horde. I found the Horde through Critter Gifting.
Hmm.
Yep, it was just so happened I joined the Discord a year prior, and I noticed you had tagged all looking for a game in Tori's one of her Fateful Frolics,
Yep.
and I got into that game, started playing with them, and they kept talking about this Gallant Horde, Gallant Horde. Oh, check out the RP and check out this, and I had no idea what they were talking about. So
Hmm.
I finally caved, and I asked them, and oh, create a level 5 character. I was like, yes. So then I joined the Horde, and it's been a blast since. It's been nice to be either play or watch D&D every week since. I don't even remember when I joined. It was months ago.
Yeah, it's been a
E-
while.
It's been a hot minute. And it's been an absolute blast the entire time, whether it's the games or the RP in the Discord or the different story juices that's just
Yep.
evolved since I
Yep.
joined. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's been a ride. I it's funny because the scheduling thing was where the Horde came from. The concept of the Horde was based in the fact that it's so hard to get a regular schedule. So the idea was that it was something that people could drop in and out of, depending on what their life was like. And it turns out that for a lot of people, that the drop out of just doesn't. That's not a
No,
thing. Um,
no, that's not a thing. Not for the true
some,
players.
some of them have given up sleep. They play at their desks at work. I know Will has a set of dice at work so that he can roll when he needs to. Um, okay, so like, that kind of leads into what my next thing is, which is that the Horde is a very different sort of campaign, because it was designed to be a series of one shots rather than a campaign, and then the bits in the middle just got filled in by people being super obsessed. Um, what's that like as a player? The like dipping in and out
You
thing,
know
the one
the d-
shots.
the one shots without the story, I think, would have lost me a lot sooner.
Hmm.
Because I'm a very story driven person. I
Yep.
love creating the story. I love playing the story. So I
Yeah.
think the one shots would have lost me if not for everything that got created in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of it is player driven.
It is. It is. Like my original concept was absolutely just a series of one shots kind of loosely tied together with this guild of adventurers. Um, but as people got more invested in the characters and more invested in the skeleton story that it was really little more than a scaffold when I started. Um, I've had to fill in the gaps as we went along. And that's how we've ended up where we are. But I'm
I
also
think.
a story driven person, so it's very easy for me to take those bits and pieces and tie them up into something that is
Oh yeah,
um
and I think
I
that's
love
what
doing that.
I think that's what really makes the Horde, the fact that we've all had an impact in the story.
Yep.
You know, you created the scaffolding, and then you let us as players create our own thing.
Yeah.
There was the channel for the while, the Regulators,
Yeah.
where there was a spy
It
in
started
the
out as the
Horde, and
dissenters.
oh yeah, that's right, it
Yeah.
did, didn't it? And
Yep.
they were trying to investigate, and
Yeah.
was the lady always the lady, or was it just some formless being that you had made? I gotta ask. That's something that's driving me insane as a player.
There was a game called Titania's Wand where
Uh,
the players had to go and get Titania's Wand from the Feywild. And when I was putting that game together, I said to myself, what if she is Titania? And that's where that came from. Like
I love
literally it
it.
was just a what if moment as I was putting that, like right at the start when I was putting that particular game together as a concept for people to sign up for. I had that moment of what if she is Titania?
Oh,
And that was the seed of everything that came out of that. So no,
Artor
she
was.
wasn't originally. She was
Oh
just
man,
this mysterious figure that, yeah.
yeah. Artor originally joined the Regulators, having no idea what was going on, or the Dissenters. I think he joined
Yeah.
right before they changed to the Regulators,
Yep.
and then they like filled him in, and they were this secret inner circle, and it, he had been there maybe a week,
Yep. Yep.
if that. Although if Artor's going to do something, he's going to do it big. That's.
Yes. Yes. Which brings us to the fact that Artor managed to get married before his first mission. Let's talk
Yep.
about that.
Um, well, I mean, it definitely wasn't in the original cards for Artor. Artor originally started out as a grizzled sellsword who was grumpy and hated everybody.
Yep.
And then I started playing him, and characters do as characters did.
Yep.
He got introduced to Naya, Morwen, and Zinkela.
Hmm.
And in that first interaction, Mike, as a player, said, I don't want him to be grumpy. Let's waggle some eyebrows and give him the bushiest eyebrows you've ever seen. I like to think he has eyebrows that are like
Yep.
out to here. Uh,
Yeah.
and just that initial meetup between Naya, Morwen, and Zinkela, the three that were probably the kindest, most not friendly, but I mean, yes, they're friendly.
Yeah. Like
Um,
warmth, I think. Welcoming,
yeah,
maybe is the word
yeah,
you want.
the welcoming
Yeah.
party.
Mm.
This was back before I had, back before Ardbeg was Schultz's deputy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
We didn't even
he-
have Schultz at that point. That wasn't a
yeah,
thing.
it's
Yep.
and from there it just kind of there were a couple of months before I got to play my first game, and I dove headfirst into the Horde.
Yep.
Yeah,
You sure did.
I was RP all the way. I was let's go, let's go, let's go, let's play on.
Yep.
Um, when we had that visit to oh
Meloda.
my goodness. Yeah, Meloda.
Yeah.
And the way that Jennifer just ran it, I was like, oh, that's romantic. That's slick. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's
Yeah.
and he had just kind of clicked with Naya,
Mm.
and I remember messaging Chrissy right before they had their first first moment in Meloda.
Yep.
I messaged Chrissy for the first time, like, "Hey, by the way, if any of this is too much, tell me to stop."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Because that kind of set the bar. Like Naya and Artor were the first Horde romance. Up to that point, no one had really gone down that road at all.
yeah,
Um, and that kind of set the bar, and you just opened the floodgates, man.
I
After that, it was we couldn't stop it. This is where the story that Alfredo is actually secretly a love god has happened because there's so many people in the Horde just like woof, woof,
yeah, it's
couples
true.
happening all over the place. Yeah.
I had a good laugh about that. We just needed to get past that uncomfortable barrier.
Yeah.
Because relationship forming in RP can be uncomfortable. It can,
Yep.
the
Yep.
the some of the work that goes into it on both parties is incredible and not what I expected.
Yep. Yep.
It definitely changes how we play, and it's for me overall. It's been very entertaining, very much a great time to see the character dynamic change.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
been and then seeing the character dynamic change of everyone else
Yeah, I think that
blossom into
was
different
really interesting
relationships.
because it did open that possibility. I think
You know,
people hadn't really considered it a possibility, and then Naya and Artor happened, and that opened that possibility, and then it couldn't stop it, man.
I
Everybody's
mean,
coupling up.
how many weddings has been in the Horde now? I think there's three.
Three,
Three weddings in the
three.
Horde. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
four.
Wow.
Four,
Four?
because Hela and
Oh, yep.
Eden,
Yep.
Ardbeg and Korra, which wasn't a surprise, and then
Yep.
Garen and Zanashi as well.
That's right. It's four.
Yep.
And then if you count the Morwen and Pesnik too.
Yep.
Did that
Morwen and
happen in the
Pesnik,
Horde?
5.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So there've been a few, and those are just the ones that tied the knot. There've been plenty
Right.
of not. Yeah. It's cool.
Plenty
I
of
think it's cool. It gives investment, because then when
yeah.
you put those people in danger, as a DM, when you put those people in danger, it's a whole nother level of
Ooh.
of stakes.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
Yep.
You know, I'm waiting for the story juice to happen when a character dies, especially when
Yeah.
they're in a relationship. You know, we have our setup with, you know, who can be brought back, who can't. But I can't wait to see what happens if it happens.
Especially if it's one of those people who've said no. Like,
Yeah.
to me, Garen is the most obvious, because he rushes headfirst into things, and he has a DNR,
Yeah, he
and he
does,
has a
doesn't he?
wife, and a sister who's already traumatized.
You know, I
So
hate to say it. I think the sister will be more traumatized by his death than the wife.
the wife, yep, 100%. But yeah, like there are a few people who, if the dice go bad, and like that possibility is 100%. The Red Dragon game, if you
Oh,
between you and me, if you had not rolled a nat 20 on your perception check to see the horn, that game would have gone very differently.
oh
Because
boy,
it was
that
only
was
because you rolled a nat 20 that you saw it.
oh that game. I was that's another fun one where I say Artor goes big. You know, when they didn't have anything else to offer, he offered that dragon death.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep. And that,
and then
like, literally, if it hadn't been a nat 20, you wouldn't have known where the horn was. You would have had to choose between staying and killing that thing, or leaving and failing the mission and being the first failed mission. And either way, story juice.
I don't want to be the first failed mission. Nope.
Yeah. So the frost giants. That's another big one. Like, you came in with this, I'm half a giant thing. Did you expect that to become such a huge part of the story?
No, a lot of Artor's background. All that I had for him for his background when he joined the Horde was he's a grizzled veteran. Like, that's all I had. I had the character and grizzled veteran. And then I got into it, and I was playing with the Rune Knight features, and I realized he could go into Swoltor. And I was like, oh, that'd be really fun. And I pulled him from Icewind Dale because I'm running the Icewind Dale campaign.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that'd be really neat to throw the Frost Giant in there. And that's how. And then everything just snowballed, pun intended. From there. And then the story juice happened, and you let me introduce Gimir and play with Gimir there, and the other Frost Giants, and the Jarl background, the Thane background, and oh man, that's just been so much fun. And now, because of Gimir, Artor is Jarl and is now tied to the Fey courts.
Yep, because he made that deal.
Artor ain't got no idea what he's doing. He's learning very slowly, but he's learning.
Lucky that he has these friends who know about Fey shit.
Oh yeah. Most definitely, his porch mead with indigo is helping a lot.
Yep. Yeah, it was interesting, because I remember you saying, what if Artor essentially brokered this deal between Titania and the Frost Giants for an allegiance between them, and what would they want in return for that? And that just kind of has turned into a whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's turned into a giant thing, and now we have that one wasn't on purpose, and now we have giants stationed around as agents of Gur. And we still have that one dissenter that I'm waiting to see if anything happens with him. Everyone hates him, and that was one that I've tripped myself up on. I went through and named them, and the dissenter is Ulkfirth, where his mother is Ulrith, and it's like, wait a minute, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Mike, as a player, has been mixing up names.
Yeah.
Oh, I do it to myself. What can I say?
Yep. Don't we all? I feel you. Um, yeah. The other big thing was the Oberon incident. Let's talk about the Oberon incident.
Sure, let's talk
Much of
about
that
the
was Mike the player engaging in fuckery, and how much was just the moment of the thing?
most of it was the moment of the thing. There was obviously, in the game when I asked about, because I didn't want to meta, I wanted to make sure
Yep.
the conclusions I was making was a safe conclusion for Artor and not Mike. You
Hmm.
know, and afterwards, I think even Artor would have known better, so it might have been a little bit of subconscious because Artor had literally just said, not 10 minutes before, names have power.
Yep. Yep.
uh, you know, but then he had the bravado of, oh well, Indigo did it. Indigo's the Fey expert. So okay, maybe. And they were underwater. They wouldn't have heard anything.
No.
Give it a try.
Yep.
And Artur doesn't necessarily understand how the interaction with gods and high being powers work because his first real interaction with Thrym, his god, was the god striking with lightning.
Yep.
And Artur being too stupid to move.
Yep.
He just took the lightning like, okay, you want me to prove myself? Let's go.
Cool. Yeah.
This is what this is. All right, cool. So he didn't imagine that saying the name would necessarily pull the attention of the creature or the being as much as it
Mm.
would annoy any possible followers of.
Yep.
Because he knows in his own mind that if someone had gone about bad mouthing Thrym like that, he would have said something.
Yep.
And he's not even that attached to Thrym.
Yep.
He hasn't gone the cleric path. We took one level in cleric, and that I haven't gone any further with it.
Yeah.
Even though I wield Thrym's hammer,
Yep.
the religious bat wasn't meant for Artur where it was for Gymir.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So Oberon spoke back and suggested that perhaps Artor could be one of his. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts.
If
Both as
Artur,
player and character, I guess.
so as player, oh, Mike was super tempted. Mike was super tempted because that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of story juice. He'd be dead very quickly.
Yep.
But that'd be a lot of fun. Artur, on the other hand, is one of his biggest flaws is once he's purchased, he's purchased. And he's been purchased by the lady.
Mm-hmm.
So he, that ain't nothing gonna break his word to her. He is, and that's why he felt comfortable leaving the realm after the surgery.
Yep.
He knew no matter what, he wouldn't break his word.
Yep.
You could take everything from him, he still has the word with the lady.
Yep.
And he's a little frightened of Gur.
That's
a
fair,
little frightened of
to be
Gur.
honest.
And this is coming from the character. He was level 5 challenging a level 10 fighter and saying let's do it.
Yep.
He is
Yep.
There's enough of Gur that he knows better.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting one because there may still be some repercussions from that incident.
I'm waiting to see. So at this point, Artur is really jealous of the people going on the hunting lodge because he wants to have that interaction with the other side. Artur is ready for all-out war, and that's not going to happen with the Fey Court.
No, it's not that simple. Yeah.
He knows that, but he wants it to just be a knockdown, drag out, let's get it over with.
Yep.
Because that's simple.
Yep.
that's easy. And that's kind of how he's used to it, is the knockdown, drag out. He's been slowly learning that he's only going to come to the court when he gets invited because it'd be stupid not to. Otherwise he's going to do what he does and avoid the Fey court until he's necessary, because he
Yeah,
wants to show that he's a powerful ally. And what's better to be a powerful ally than be a mystery? If the Fey
that's
court
true.
doesn't know him, they're going to be
Yep,
frightened of him.
yep, that is true.
And if he
It's an
comes to the
unknown
Fey court,
quantity.
he could make a fool of himself, and then he's a joke.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he will come when necessary and when invited. But until then, he's going to avoid and use the whole unknown aspect,
yeah,
because they're gonna know him as a Jarl of Giants, and oh shit,
yeah.
you know they're gonna
That's cool.
see him as a small man, and then he gets on the battlefield because 3 more levels, and his swole tor's about to get a lot bigger.
Yeah, which will be an interesting thing.
He's
Crazy, man.
it's great. The Rune Knight. This is my first fighter. This is my first martial class that I've ever played, and it's been an absolute blast. He is a beef tank.
He is. He is. And he's always right there in the front too, like
Oh
just
yeah.
putting himself between whatever the thing is and everybody else. Like that's his jam.
Uh,
It's kind of awesome.
I am frightened to see when him and Ardbeg get on a team of just assault. You put him and Ardbeg on either side, and it's game
Yep.
over.
Yep. Yep. It'll be an interesting. Yeah. It's yep. I don't want to say too much. Um so Artor's had a bit of a roller coaster, um, to put it mildly. Where where you're at right now, where have you landed in terms of his thoughts on the lady and her mission?
As far as he's concerned, the lady's on the right. She was ousted from her home, by her own husband.
Hmm.
As far as he's concerned, the Oaken one is, well, he needs to be dealt with. Um, he he thinks the lady is going about it too shystily, if that makes sense. She's being
Yep.
shisty, she's being fey, she's being smart.
That's what
He,
she does.
exactly, and that's why he leaves those decisions to her, and he doesn't
Yeah.
try to question them because she knows what she's doing.
Mhm.
He likes to be the muscle that, okay, it's time to go that way and pick that up, and okay, I'll
Mhm.
do that. And that's why he's so good when it comes to the combat missions, and when it
Yep.
comes to the diplomacy missions, he kind of keeps his head down and tries to stay quiet. Although
Yep.
with the Allegor mission, he saw an opportunity and took it by saying, "I'm not here as one of her followers. I'm here as one of her allies.
Yeah.
I'm here as a Jarl of the Frost Giants that aligned themselves. I'm not here as her messenger boy.
Yeah.
I'm here to show you that she treats her allies well."
Yep. Yeah.
And that was a I'm a toot my own horn on that one. That was a smart moment for Artor, I think. That
Yep.
was a very Jarl thing to do, as
Yep.
opposed to how he normally does things. It was
Yeah.
very
It's cool
i-
seeing him develop those like actual leadership qualities, which are
right.
really important. Obviously, given his position. But yeah, it's watching him start to really kind of embrace that is awesome.
Yeah, which I mean, I've loved to see him grow from the uh, reckless individual that he was
Yep.
to what he is now. He's still reckless,
Yep.
but he, like, his first. I think it was his first, maybe second night in the Horde. He went flying, and he jumped off because he saw one of the other characters jump off and float
Yep.
down.
Uh-huh.
So he thought, "Oh, cool! I can do the same." No, no, he couldn't.
No.
And now he can, thanks to
Yep.
Ash.
Yep.
But or when he thought he upset Naya by taking the holy symbol from his mother, so he broke it.
Yeah.
He broke his holy symbol to Thrym because he thought he upset someone.
Hmm. Yeah, that's not a smart move.
Artor does big things.
Yes, he does. That's
He
true.
was ready to just do what he does, and he doesn't necessarily think them through. Now he's getting better.
Yep.
It
He
it
thinks for
helps.
at least 30 seconds before he acts.
Right. It helps that he went through that surgery.
Yeah. Talk about learning the consequences of your actions
Oh.
the hard way.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
and that's
Yeah.
why he spends a lot of time. "Ooh, I'm gonna rub my ribs. That
Yep.
hurts."
Yeah.
You know, Zook's thinking of me. I better stop.
I love it. It's worrying when Zook is the conscience in your head telling you not to be impulsive.
Well, that
What
just
the
tells you how
hell?
impulsive he is. You know, Zook knows the game, so he knows where he can be impulsive. Artor doesn't know the game.
No, Zook just thinks that he's invincible. This is my shadow is showing now. It's like, oh, he's just a fucking idiot.
I mean,
He's just
he has
really, really good at it. He's got a lot of practice surviving being a fucking idiot. That's what.
he hasn't died yet, so he's invincible.
Well, he probably
Yeah,
has. He just came back.
probably. Uh,
Anyway, sorry, my shadow is showing. What about the rest of the Horde? Let's talk about Arto's relationships because he's developed some very strong ties with some people. Um, so I guess I'm interested in who he feels particularly close to, and also who he is wary of, and where that's come from.
ooh, so the close one's easy. Erden, Ardbeg, Naya, Morwen, um, Gur, Hela, Wazatum as of late, he
Yeah,
really he really feels bad for Wazatum with
yeah,
Brainy.
yeah.
He and Artor never once met Brainy.
Oh, really?
Artor never
Wow.
met Brainy. Like the first time he met him was on that mission, and I don't even
Yeah,
think he met him then because he was invisible.
yep, yeah,
Artor never met Brainy, but he
yeah,
still feels bad that Wazatum went through the loss because he knows Wazatum also lost a squirrel friend.
yeah,
He knew that story. That was happening just as Artor joined, and he was trying to be helpful, so he carried the squirrel statue around.
yeah,
You know, um, Wary of, I think the biggest one that he's kind of unsure of and wary of isn't there anymore, and it's Colness.
yeah.
Colness got into a lot of trouble, caused a lot of
Mhm.
chaos, and Artor, while he does big things, he tries not to cause chaos for other people around
Yep.
him,
Yeah.
and sometimes Colness did.
Mhm.
Um, Other than that, he doesn't have a relationship with people like Harper, Bomba, Elena, Miz. There are so many to name,
Yeah.
you know. But he feels a, and it hasn't been mentioned in a very long time. He feels a fatherly bond protection over a lot of them.
Yeah.
For the longest time, he was Papa Artor and Mama Naya.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he wants to look after the little ones, but lately he's been too kind of drawn into everything that's been going on.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
So he hasn't
Another one
actually
he's
met a lot of the new members,
no,
has he? Yeah.
and then he's also close to Indigo.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
that
is an
one's a
interesting one.
yes. There's just something about Indigo that he really enjoys their companionship.
Yep.
They have porch meads now.
Yeah.
Um, he's really glad to see Ardbeg getting what he wants.
Yep.
When Ardbeg went with him on his crackpot dream of getting a dire moose,
Yeah.
or of getting a moose, anyes, and it
Have
turned
you
into a
got a
dire
Diamoose?
moose.
Oh, I forgot about the Diamoose. That
Oh
was a
no,
thing as well.
we can talk about that one too.
Totally forgot about that one. See, there's so much Artor story juice. I
Oh,
didn't even
Artur's
remember.
gone through. Well, it's because the mount doesn't play a whole lot into it, and
Yeah.
he's let Renton go and do what Renton will do.
Yeah.
What else does Artur? He has the owl that floats around the
Yeah.
realm every now and then. Kylena.
Yeah.
Um, his creatures go off and kind of do their own thing, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what he wants them to do. He doesn't want them to feel trapped, and
Yeah.
he had a mindset for the longest time of, well, it's an animal, it'll do whatever I want it to
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
When they had originally started talking about going and getting this moose, and conversation with Naya, asking it and trying to, he's tried to step back and think more on his actions rather than just brute forcing it.
Yep.
Like that hammer of his, he tried to brute force it at first. That wasn't working. He had, and
Yep.
now in the realm of the Summerlands, there is permanent snow to the far
Yep.
north.
Yep.
Like,
That's right. Yeah. The hammer was interesting because that was just a random thing.
oh,
That
that
was
was
one of my random loot rolls, and I was just like, "Oh, that's gonna be interesting."
I was so excited to get that. And,
Yep.
Mike is a player. I've got to step back because I'm like, all right, I need to not meta. I need
Yep.
to, let it come naturally and not try to influence the chat and be like, hey, now in the Twitch chats, that's a different story, and when we're in the game and you're talking about this weapon, oh, that's Mike saying, get that thing.
Yeah.
You just had
Yep.
that Waith, the giant sword.
Yeah.
Get it,
Yep.
and now
Well,
I'm
they have it
sitting
now.
back. Yeah, I'm sitting back waiting to see what happens to it. And if
Yep.
it goes to Scrat, hopefully Scrat will try to resell it.
I don't think it's gonna go to Scrat.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
It's a great sword, even just for story purposes to
Yep.
have.
Yep.
And I Mike, as a player, I want all of the really cool weapons, all the really nice
Yep.
weapons, and it was great. We bought the flame tongue longsword.
Yep.
Artor just recently went and dumped almost 10,000 gold at Scrats of his and Naya's gold, and I was messaging Chrissy about it, like, "Hey, I'm gonna go spend this gold because these things." And
Want them.
she asked me, she said, "Why do you need a sword? You've got Gymir's flail." Well, because I'm dealing fire and ice now.
Oh my God.
And it makes perfect sense to Mike. So I need a sounding board to kind of bounce off, and we compromised, and I got the sword.
Yep.
But
You compromised and you got the sword.
I mean, the compromise was, he's not going to spend any more gold for a little bit, because that almost 10,000 gold, and they've
Yep.
got a plan for their character future.
Yep. Yep.
The money's not always going to be there,
No. Well, we'll see.
Artor's Jarl Artor for the lady. There's gonna be gold. He can always come and be like, "Hey, what do you need done?" And I'm sure she'll
She
always
doesn't
have something that
really
needs
care
done.
about gold. It's not relevant to her. So
Right,
that's why she's just like, yeah, here you go. Free food,
right.
free whatever. Yeah.
He's gonna hit level 20, and she's gonna say, "Hey, I have other things that need done. What do you need?" I'll say, "Gold."
Mhm.
Done.
Show me
Fair
the
trade.
money. Yep. All right. Let's talk about missions. Do you have a favorite mission? And separate question, does Artor have a favorite mission? They don't have to be the
Oh,
same.
so goodness, my favorite mission as a player. I have two.
Mhm.
And it was his first mission with the Ashufa's Barrows,
Yep.
and his second most recent mission with the dragons, the
Yep.
dragon. Those are my two absolute favorite, because the Ashufa's Barrows, I had no idea how we were getting out.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea. And then Ardbeg came in clutch, got the bow, and said, "Get us out of here."
Mhm.
Right. And then the dragon mission, it's your stereotypical dragon dungeon.
Classic
Always,
stuff.
it's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful classic. And Artor got to pull an Ardbeg,
Yep.
where he grabbed the horn and got us out of there.
Yep.
It was a very, and I like to brag as a player that my character offered death to an ancient dragon.
Mhm.
Well, what do you have to offer? Well, we'll offer.
Fulfill that offer though.
He hasn't
Just
fulfilled
gonna
it.
say.
He has not fulfilled it, but he offered it to the dragon's face. Not many people can say, "Hey, I looked at that ancient red dragon and said, I offer you what no one else has, and I offer you death."
Mhm. It was a cool moment.
For me as a character, that was an amazing moment. I was
Yeah.
so proud of that, and then I was really devastated that we didn't kill the dragon.
Yeah.
And
You might
as
still
soon
get
as
an opportunity. Don't
oh,
worry.
as soon as that mission comes up to go get the dragon, Artor's signing up. No, Artor's going. He's already got another dragon mission on the books.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's really excited for that one, just because he's immune to cold damage.
Yeah. That
He's
will definitely make a difference.
and he deals cold damage, so the dragon's probably also immune to the cold damage. But like,
Yep. He can walk straight through that breath weapon and be like, whatever,
right,
bro.
breath weapon. What's that? Get that little bit of
Yep.
Artor's favorite mission, I think, would also be the red dragon. Just for the plain reason he got to engage in that greediness of the giant.
Oh, yeah.
He hides it, I think, very well, but he is a very greedy individual.
Mm.
And he got to have his moment where he stole from the dragon in his face.
Yep.
He had, in my opinion, two excellent character moments, and that was the I offer for you, death, and I'm making eye contact while I scoop your gold. You
Yep.
know, he got that moment to steal from the dragon, and that was a very proud moment for him. But also, it's not a favorite mission, but my favorite moment with him of all of the moments was when he was cursed.
Oh yeah.
When he was cursed and he had that altercation with another character where he took off his prosthetic pinky
Yep.
and threw it at them and said, "Not everyone wants to be your friend."
Yep.
And I think the just the overall scene and like even typing it out, I was like, "Oh my god, that's gonna hurt." And like
Yeah.
that was, and especially since Artor tries to be everyone's friend.
Yeah.
He tries very hard, even after losing his pinky to the friend that he lost his pinky to. He
Yeah.
went to him before signing the contract and said, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. Get yourself turned around," and got blown off.
Yeah.
So I think that was a very heavy character moment for him, and it was
Yep.
just, oh,
Good stuff.
so much good stuff.
Mm. I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What are you particularly looking forward to in the future?
Oh, definitely the dragon mission.
See, I knew you were
Definitely
going
the
to say
dragon
that.
mission. I'm Mike loves dragon missions.
Mm.
That's why, when Fizbins came out, I was like, yep. Yeah, it very
I
much.
still want to bring that Elderbrain dragon out, man.
Oh,
Whew.
do it.
Delicious. Anyway.
Bring out the slime puppy. Let us pet it. I'm waiting for it
Yeah.
to pop up in the arena as one of the orbs.
Yeah.
Those orbs have been story juice in themselves.
Funny because they're pretty much randomly rolled. So,
Yep.
but sometimes they're just so on point, man. It's like the dice know. The dice know.
Definitely the dragon mission, but I think overall the first seal mission.
Mm,
He
that's gonna
signed
be
up for that
interesting.
first one.
Yeah.
He might be 17 then. I don't remember where it falls in the but that is the first opportunity that he thinks he'll get to engage with the Oaken Ones
People. Yeah.
people, and he's very much on Garen's side where they need to be silenced. They need to be
Yep.
gone. There's nothing we can do about that. They are unfortunately on the wrong side.
Yep.
And
Yeah. That's gonna be a bit of an interesting because that's gonna just knock everything up a notch, I think, when we start doing seals.
well, yeah, I was talking about it with Shinali. I don't remember if it was in character or if I was just talking to Shinali.
Mm.
That first mission is going to be the easiest of all the seal missions.
Yep.
Because he won't
It is.
know.
Yep.
He won't know that we know where the seals are, and then we're going to hit the seals, and then
it's on. Then
it's on. And Artor's a little sad to have signed up for the easy one.
Yeah.
But it makes the most sense. He thought about trying to sign up for the second one, the Chaos one, because he was tied to Melida, but I don't think he's as tied to Melida as some of the other characters that were signing up for the first one. And there's a time constraint now. We have to have those missions done in a timely manner. So if it was go to that first one or go to the second one, get that first one done.
Yep.
Because we need to get it done. He's not going to want to leave the realm, though.
No. Well, that is still open for discussion because I think there's a new plan where Zook is planning on basically teleport hopping people to break the trail so that they can come back to the realm, just not directly.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Artor has, stepped back in one of his missions where they were to leave. He just openly said Bellatrix. Just openly, didn't care. The dragon mission, he deliberately whispered it.
Yeah.
He's learning.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yep. This is important.
And
this word that people use to get out of these situations over and over and over again. Like eventually people are going to connect those things.
Yep. Oh yeah. And I feel like we've been lackadaisical with it. I've seen some missions where, or I've watched some streams where we didn't care who was around us.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wait
I
a
remember
minute.
that with the way early with the flying carpet mission, which was the first one where they left people alive
Oh,
and set it in front of a bandit king, who's not dead, but yeah.
dead by whose hand is the question.
Yes. Elena's hand. That's whose
Oh,
hand.
oh, okay, perfect.
That was the
That's
one
good.
where they did the side quest where they went back to Carlisle's.
Oh, that's
And
what they
yeah,
went back to Carlisle's.
yep,
Yep.
yep. But
And
that was the first one where I thought to myself, okay, so now there are people out there who have heard this word.
yeah, and it's oh my god, the how it's evolved and how the story's evolved has just been
Mm.
incredible, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And like even as Artor gets ready to level out, he'll still be around because of his tie to the lady.
Yep.
But I've already started thinking of my next character and how my next character is going to play in, and I am just
I'm
so
very
excited.
excited about your next character. I'm not
I'm
gonna lie.
oh, me too, me too. I've only told I've told like two people about him, three
Yep.
people maybe counting yourself and Adam, because I need to tell someone because I'm going to lose my mind because I'll hyperfixate and like I've got this entire thing set up and I am so excited to see, and I'm also totally ready for that individual to not survive.
It'll be
you know,
interesting.
it be
Spoilers.
right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's going to be uh, so exciting to see, and that's just from all the story juice.
Yep. Yep. No, it'll be great. Is there anything that we haven't done that you would like to see in terms of missions? I guess. This is my favorite question. It gives me ideas.
I mean, up until recently, it was Dragon Mission. A
Yep.
good Dragon Horde mission. But we've done that, and
Hmm.
we as players botched it. Because we could have taken on that dragon if we had thought a little more thoroughly about not getting bottlenecked and taking that breath weapon
Yep.
full force. Thank God we drank our potions.
Hmm.
You've really hit a lot of the ones that I wanted to do. Have I gotten to play in them? No, but that's the Dragon Horde mission, the sneak missions, the diplomacy missions,
Yep.
the rob people blind missions. I was
Yep.
really happy that I got to play in the rob people blind missions because that's where we introduced Amnon,
Yep.
and
That's
I
right.
was
That's
I
right.
was so
Yeah.
excited for that one.
Yeah.
And I really don't think that there's anything we haven't
Wow.
done in the Horde.
I
Uh,
do try to mix it up, but every now and
and
then
I've
someone goes, "Here's a thing you haven't done," and I'm like, "Oh, I haven't."
you know uh, I really think me as a player, I've felt satisfied over everything we've done.
Awesome.
You know, uh, not a thing I'd change. Maybe more dragons. But
More
that's me saying
dragons.
I love dragons. They're cliched for a reason. They're
Yeah.
they're
They're
wonderful.
classic. They're
They're
classic.
classic. Right.
Better word.
Much better word. Um,
All
no,
right.
I don't think I'd do anything.
I have one more question for you, and we put this at the end so that people have to watch the whole thing. What is Artor's deepest, darkest secret right now? What is something we
Um,
don't know?
Even though his interaction with Thrym has been little, he is slowly being influenced by Thrym. Thrym is a chaotic evil god.
Yep.
He is slowly being influenced by his decisions. And it's been a kind of back and forth of inner monologue
Interesting.
that Artor's been having on certain decisions. Um, like the gold that he took from the the dragon.
Yep.
He wasn't going to share that.
Huh.
He took it himself. He squared up to the dragon. As far as he's concerned, that's his.
Mm.
But he's been slowly being. So it'll be interesting to see if, as he levels up more, if he goes further with the cleric.
Interesting. Ooh, that's very good story juice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That gives me lots of ideas as a DM.
Yep. And then I guess one final bonus thing that even Artor doesn't know,
Mhm.
he can't come back.
What do you mean? Explain.
If he dies
Because of Thrym?
because of Thrym.
Mm.
That's why any resurrection attempts on Geetmir failed.
Yeah.
Thrym
Interesting.
says, "You die, you're mine."
Yep. Whew.
Even Artor doesn't know that, and if he
Yeah.
delved more into Thrym, he'd find out and be like, "Oh shit,
Yep.
I need to be more careful." But
He thinks my
he's
wife's a very powerful cleric. I'm fine. Everything's
yep.
fine.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Niall bring him right back.
Mhm.
Oh boy,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
But that's Artor in a nutshell for you.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Cool. Oh, you've given me so many ideas. Okay. My brain is like, oh. Um. Okay. Well, congrats on getting to level 15.
I didn't think he'd make it.
5 more missions to go.
Yep. And he's already scheduled for 2 or 3 of them, I think.
Yep. So that'll
Wow.
be an interesting. Yeah, it's been a journey, huh?
Yeah, it has. Wow.
Mm. Well, thank you for being part of the journey because the Horde is only as good as the people in it.
Oh, it's been a
And
blast.
I think we've been very lucky with the people in it. It's an amazing group of people.
Mm,
So yeah, thank you for being part of that and for being part of this craziness. Um, and I guess we'll see where Artor goes from here. So if
yeah.
you're watching this on YouTube, if we're releasing this right now on YouTube, it means that Artor is about to do a mission on Twitch, and you should definitely go over to Twitch and watch that mission.
You should.
Now, go. Cool. No one's watching now because they've all gone to Twitch. Woo. If you're not watching this live, you're shit out of luck. You'll have to watch it on YouTube on one of the reruns.
Yep.
I don't know which mission we're going to put this before because there's a lot of level 15s all in a row. So we're releasing one
Yeah, there
to
are.
kind of, yeah. But, and I think the dragon mission has Miz on it, maybe? I
I
feel like it
believe
might have
so.
Miz.
Yes, it
Anyway,
does.
so she was first. So her one will probably be released before that mission. But we will release this one before an Artor mission. So you should still go watch. Why are you still here? Go to Twitch. Cool. Um, Mike, thank you so much for giving me some of your time today and for being part of the Horde. You are a delight to play with. Um, and yeah, I look forward to see what happens next, especially now that I know that Thrym stuff. Hee hee.
Yeah. Yeah. I may have shot myself in the foot, but it's all for the story.
Yeah. So good. Arto's going to start having dreams. Um,
Oh,
I love my god dreams. Anyway,
the pesky
uh,
gods in your realm.
oh god, there's so many of them, man, and I have to be all of them, and I've got to try to remember all those god voices in my head.
Mm.
Anyway, thank you for being part of this. Anyone who's watching still, I don't know why you're still here. Go to Twitch, but thank you for watching. You're beautiful, and we very much love your support, and your engagement in this crazy story that we are making on the fly as we go. Um, thanks for being here. We love
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Have a beautiful time zone.